Hello, everybody. It has been a while since the last time I have done a video, and yeah, I know. I probably could have been doing videos over the last few days, but I just haven't had much motivation. But we're gonna get back on schedule here. Should have this up early this morning. I might have another update tomorrow, kind of mid-morning to afternoon time. Currently, we have a few severe thunderstorms across Texas with 1 inch size hail on 70 mile per hour or 60-mile-an-hour winds as the main threats. We do tune into the Storm Prediction, or not the Storm Prediction Center. Weather webpage. We have heat advisories across portions of the interior Northeast. Across Nevada, we have red flag warnings, and we also have severe thunderstorm warnings across portions of Colorado and Texas, with a severe thunderstorm watch in Texas. Flash flood watch 2, and those red flag warnings as well out in the Pacific Basin. Over here, looking at the Weather Prediction Center, this is what's valid for tomorrow. Day 2 is today, day 2, and then day 3. So let's look at that surface analysis currently. So currently we have a dry line across portions of West Texas, sparking off that severe risk. We also have a cold front over here sparking off the severe risk across Minnesota that really didn't kick off today. Look at the front map though. Tomorrow around 0Z, we are expecting severe weather across North Dakota and South Dakota along that triple point. Primary hazards would be scattered damage and wind gusts, with some being up to 80 mile per hour. A couple tornadoes cannot be ruled out, and isolate and scattered large hail with maybe one instance of very large hail. Across portions of the Midwest and South, scattered thunderstorms are likely, with maybe a locally strong one or two. Then Wednesday, it looks like severe weather is likely across Montana, Nevada, Wyoming, North Dakota, and portions of Nebraska, Colorado. Wednesday, it looks like a prefrontal boundary will set up across this area and bring a severe risk across to these areas potentially, as well as severe risk across this warm front up here. On Thursday, a pretty major severe weather event could be on tap for portions of the northern plains, which include Montana, North Dakota, portions of Minnesota, Nebraska, or not Nebraska, South Dakota, Nebraska, maybe a little bit of northwest Kansas, Colorado, and Wyoming. Friday, again, the Midwest is looking like it's going to be in the severe weather patterns. Places like Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, and maybe into the Mid-Atlantic. As we get to Saturday and Sunday, it looks more uncertain. Currently, excessive rain. We're likely to see a lot of rain across the northern plains and portions of the central U.S. The excessive rain, we have two areas of slight risk for the rest of tonight, a large slight tomorrow, and a large day 3 slight. Let's currently look at the Storm Prediction Center's page. Currently have a severe thunderstorm watch for scattered gusts of 70 and some 1.5 inch sized hail. The day 1 outlook today, 2% tornado, 5 hail, and 5 wind. For tomorrow, we have a 2 tour, 15 wind, and a 15 hail. Don't be surprised to see a 15 hatched wind added as well. With the day 3, we have a 15% hatch probabilistic. Main hazards would include a couple tornadoes, scattered damaging wind gusts up to 75 mile per hour, and scattered large hail with isolated very large hail up to 3 inches likely. On the day 4 3, we have a day 5 risk. And again, the main threats with this seem to be large hail, tornadoes, and wind gusts, all of them. And I'll have more updates as we do move on. Currently on the mesoscale analysis page, we do have a lot of instability stored across the area, and some shear, along with some decent decay that will provide a severe risk overnight. Let's go kind of nationally with we'll go nationally with the RAP model on Call of Duty page here, kind of just to, actually not the RAP, we'll go nationally with, let's go with HRRR here. We're going to first start off with the Northern Plains, and for tomorrow, so it looks like right around 22Z, 23Z, we're likely to see some severe thunderstorms pop off. And these triple arms to form some in northwest Minnesota and portions of South Dakota and North Dakota. Has a little tiny thunderstorm popping off. We do take some soundings across the area. And boom, the soundings are favorable for, at this time, for large hail, maybe an isolated instance of very large hail, and then damaging wind gusts with some intense and a tornado or two. We have favorable LCL heights, decent photograph, not too bad shear, decent 3-kilometer cape as well. Tomorrow we do have some 500 millibar shear kind of dipping down into North Dakota. Looks like your main threat's going to be in North Dakota. That's where you have the best upper level support. We do have some low level jet, but that is lacking a lot. As we get into like 1Z, it does strengthen a tiny bit though. At 1Z, we start to see a cluster of storms, probably supercells, across North Dakota, and another cluster here, clusters here, isolated stuff there. At this point, these will likely be producing maybe a brief tornado, but mainly damaging wind gusts, some significant and isolated large hail. At this time, damaging wind gusts appear to be the main threat. And it looks like the squall really dies off by the time we get to around midnight. Probably still some severe risk as it gets into Minnesota, just not as significant. Does look like that could be some severe risk overnight in North Dakota, but that's going to push off. These will lay down boundaries for the next day's storms to go off of and potentially end up producing some tornadoes and maybe some stronger ones, and we'll go into that right now. Here's around midday. We see the storm start to pop at around 20s. Now the problem is we don't have that much middle level support, which is a problem. You want more middle level support usually, but with boundary interactions you can still get isolated strong tornadoes across the area. Now your main threats with this are going to be very large hail, very unstable environment's going to be sitting up, and the main zone for that very large hail, it looks like the main zone is going to be right up in here. That's your main very large hail zone. In these areas, down through here, scattered damaging wind gusts will be the main threat with isolated significant gusts and maybe a tornado and maybe some isolated hail as well. Moving on, let's kind of do an overlap of the best ingredients, and we'll go 22Z. So it looks like your surface-based cape is going to be right in here in this blue color there. That's where your best surface-based instability is. If you look at your best low-level jet energy, looks like your best low-level jet energy will be in yellow. It's going to be right in through here. Your best 500 millibar flow is really just parked up in Montana and Canada right up there. Your best 3 cape is going to be kind of stored up along that warm front there where you have more 3 cape and vorticity. You can easily see the warm front. Your best bulk shear, that's also going to be stored up in the warm front area too, right in here. Your best lapse rates. Looks like your best lapse rates across the sector are going to be kind of right here. Well, actually, the best lapse rates are like right here. And we'll do one more parameter. Let's see here. Best 0 to 3 kilometer storm relative velocity. That looks to set up along that warm front right here. So, in purple, this is where your best area looks to be, where all the parameters really want to outline. Likely, a lot of them outline probably right in here. That's your target, kind of just north of Bismarck. So that's gonna be where you really want to go tomorrow if you're chasing. But yeah, supercells are likely to form tomorrow. They will produce pretty large hail. It's just standing right here, a bit contaminated, but you can see pretty good for all severe hazards, really. At this point, looks like squall forms, or not really a squall, but more looks like some decent activity really starts to get going here. At time frame there, looks like a couple supercells end up firing along the drawing line and then kind of get in out. Looks like a lot more storms fire though around 0Z and definitely favorability to environments is definitely there. North of the warm front, though, mainly more of a large hail risk. South of it, though, tornadoes will be a threat. Now I'm not going to only look at the HRR, we'll look at the RAP too, and then we're going to move on to the day 438 area. Let's look at the RAP, we'll look at the 21Z run. The 3Z run is loading in right now, which is sad, but you know what, stuff happens. We'll first look at tomorrow. RAP does convect across portions of the Dakotas tomorrow. Looks like your main threat over there, though. Again, looks mainly like, looks like it does kind of, yeah, large damaging wind gusts and large hail. Let's move on to the next day. This day, the RAP really goes ham. I'm gonna zoom into the Northern Plains because that's the area we're really focusing on, and that's the area that we're really going in on. Holy crap. I have not seen this RAP sounding yet. But this is what the RAP shows. It shows, very good environment here. Lots of curvature in this photograph. Lots of instability stored up. Some decent decay when the damage when the start comes. Some capping inversion in the middle levels, yes, but it's fine enough to break. Look at that. Good kinematics, except for above 6 kilometers. Those are eh. From Slinky's definitely in that kidney bean shape to it. Lapse rates are pretty favorable too. Here's a look at the GFS though. It's loading in, and here we go. We're gonna have a look at that new run. Let's look at Thursday. Thursday in the GFS, a pretty significant sphere, slightly in northwestern North Dakota. Very significant sounding here that I just pulled. Lots of instability there, and a lot of shear. Good upper level shear too. Good low level shear. You have southeasterlies at the surface. A very well-rounded hodograph. Good lapse rates. Good everything with that thermodynamic department there. That'll all do it. Definitely looks like a significant risk day where stronger tornadoes cannot be ruled out. And I don't use that word lightly either. I mean, when you have a low pressure like that up in Canada there, spinning out, you're going to get a pretty significant threat. And there's even another meso-low here. You're gonna have a really looks like the worst of this is going to be in here based off the GFS. You also have a meso-low. I'm gonna take a sounding where the meso-low is and just take a look at what that shows. You know the meso-low, that is straight garbage. That's only gonna support wind and hail. And even that, it's not gonna really support much of. And actually, yeah, there's a storm. We'll take another sounding here. We'll take it in northwestern North Dakota. Another one here. And again, very favorable environment here. Looking at a lot of kinematics there, a lot of thermodynamics. Looking at that trough on the GFS, a very strong trough comes into the northern plains, the high plains, and really just ejects across Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, and North Dakota there, really providing that significant threat. Combined with the thermodynamics here, look at this, 4,000 plus joules per kilogram of keep across the warm sector, and also 850 millibar shear, 40-50 plus knots, that's going to do it. Lapse rates also very high, 8 plus Celsius per kilometer. Bulk shear, 40 plus knots across the hill, for that area. 0 to 3 kilometer helicity, very high. So overall, a pretty significant day is possible. Friday is going to be a day you want to watch across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. It looks like an MCS is possible. I'm not going to say anything else. Not going to say anything that's going to be coming off as weenish or anything, but it looks like an MCS is definitely going to be possible. Favorable environment for that kind of stuff here with this. Some okay shear combined with decent thermodynamics and a lot of decape. and instability, that's going to create that risk. Also, can't rule out a tornado or two and some large hail. Won't be surprised if they do a 15%, but won't be surprised if they also don't do one. Let's look at the NAM for Wednesday, the 0Z run. Let's take a look. So, okay, so here's Thursday at 12Z, and it has that trough really starting to come in, very vigorous trough, starting to eject across the plains. We'll see what it does with that on the next update. But it looks like the severe risk will be very light on Wednesday. Looks like the main area is going to be in here, and even that's going to be likely just a marginal to maybe slight environment. What we're talking about Thursday is high-end slight to potentially enhanced kind of stuff there. If you're taking soundings there, it is relatively capped as well in the mid-levels there. So you're not going to get too much storm development either. Let's take a look at that Montana area there. Let's see. So it looks like areas of Montana have the highest severe threat. Looks like that main threat's going to be downburst damaging wind gust and maybe some isolated large hail, not very high tornado threat at all. Maybe something will happen, or maybe something tornadic will be in Texas too. No, Texas looks like isolated large hail, if anything ends up firing there too as well. Looks like Canada could have an interesting severe weather event with the NAM verifies. We could see a pretty significant event up there in Canada there. Oh yeah. See here, decent dew points up there. Yeah, Canada could have a pretty significant event on, I believe this is Wednesday. So we'll have to watch that for them. Let's look at the Euro and on Weather Bell, and then we're gonna wrap this one up and look at the instantaneous flash screen like we always do at the end of the videos. So here is the next couple of days. Here's tomorrow. Those thunderstorms start firing up around 21Z or so and last throughout the night. Then Tuesday, widespread severe thunderstorms. Wednesday, looks like Canada's day. Thursday, we're just a 12Z, so we'll do the 18Z run. Thursday, pretty significant there, 21. And 0Z, and 60 and 12Z. And looks like it throws out a long MCS from portions of Georgia. Or actually, it throws out a long MCS from Canada down all the way into Florida. That's pretty funny. But definitely shows that favorability in the pattern, and we'll have to watch out for this. So that'll wrap it up for this severe weather discussion. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.